the first team leader of battle number 7, being one that is new to me, but not new to Pokemon, I believe, not new to competitive Pokemon, is the San Agus crew, led by Javleed. Javleed? I know they're in Spain. Playing for Juega Terapia. I hope I said that right. Oh my gosh, my Spanish is so bad. I haven't taken Spanish in years. I'm so sorry if that's really bad. But the San Agus crew, their OU picks being their namesake Pokemon, the Aegislash and the Cerulege, 2 sword Pokemon that go slicey slice. Terrifying. We see the UU picks of these mons being Obstagoon and Toxtricity. 2 really good Gen 8 mons, I would say. Obstagoon with its disruptive abilities, with his... I forgot his ability, or a move, but whatever. Toxtricity, of course, being able to just hit hard when it can. We see the RU picks being Togekiss, Altaria, and Frostlass. 2 really good fairy types, and a Pokemon that I believe should be fairy type. But it's Gen 4, so whatever. Togekiss, of course, being so good with its String Grace ability. If you can get a Thunder Wave set up and you can just Air Slash and Air Slash and Air Slash and paralyze and flinch and paralyze and flinch. That happened to me last year and I'm still salty about it. Togekiss could be a really good Pokemon to have there. The NU picks of Spiritomb, Toxicroak, and Medicham. Of course, Medicham having its pure power ability and with its really good type coverage, able to do some good work. And of course, Spiritomb only being weak to fairy types. And the PU picks of this Pokemon being Galarian Rapidash, Luxray, Bastiodon, and Electivire. 2 Electric types here in this PU pick, PU Mons. I'm honestly really excited to see what this team has to offer. Again, I don't know how new they're competitive themselves, but this team is new to me. This person is new to me because they came as a recommendation from the Tapu Bullies, who is another team here. So I'm really excited to see what this team has to offer in this battle and, of course, in future battles. And we have another team that is new to me and potentially new to competitive. I have no idea. I don't know really too much about this team either. We have the Raichu Raiders, led by Hazel, playing for PFLAG, PFLAG. I don't know if that's an abbreviation, if that's the name of the actual charity, but that is a charity they're playing for. The 2 OU picks of this team being 2 potentially strong mons, with the Azumarill having a huge power ability potential as well, with the Breloom too having 3 really good abilities that can work really well for it in different situations. The UU picks have another huge power mon with Dickersby and the Staraptor. Staraptor, of course, being a really good just offensive offensive Pokemon. Give me a second. Okay. The RU picks of this team being the Goodra, the Emboar, and the Crocodile. Crocodile being really good with his Moxie setup potentials. I don't know too much about Goodra or Emboar though. I still have to see more about those Pokemon. And we see the NU mons of this team being Appletun, Bayleaf, and Vanillux. Bayleaf could be another potential good Eviolite mon that could set up screens really well. Appletun, I've seen the potential of Appletun in random battles, and oh my gosh, that thing is strong. And then the PU mons of this team being Cinccino, Manectric, Doublade, and the namesake Pokemon Raichu. Another Eviolite potential mon with Doublade. Cinccino, a really good skill link user as well, with its potential of type coverage, and it's just natural speed. I'm really excited. I know I say this a lot, but I'm really excited to see the potential of this team as they move forward in the next 15 plus weeks. Let's see the starting lineups of these 2 teams. We see the San Agus crew on the left here with the Rapidash Galarian, the Frostlass, the Aegislash, Obstagoon, Toxtricity, and Toxicroak, the 2 Toxie Pokemon. And we see the Raichu Raiders with the Raichu, the Goodra, the Emboar, Breloom, Appletun, and Crocodile. 2 really strong looking teams sitting up here just facing each other. We got 3 chonky Pokemon here. We got really small, fast, strong, hard-hitting Pokemon here. Let's do this. Let's get into the battle. The San Agus crew leading with the Galarian Rapidash, with the Raichu Raiders leading with the Breloom. The Sword Dance coming out immediately from the Rapidash, with the substitute right away from the Breloom, and the Toxic Poison to start setting up this Toxic Heal of this Breloom, the Agility then being used by the Rapidash, and the Leech Seed then being set up onto this Rapidash to, of course, give more healing to this Breloom. Another Sword Dance coming in from this Rapidash to get into 3 times attack, and the substitute, don't know what the substitute was for, however, the Leech Seed getting it up to full HP, and another Sword Dance from this Rapidash to get it to 4 times attack. But there goes the Spore landing onto this Rapidash and putting it right to sleep, which Leech Seed doing more chip damage. Another Leech Seed coming out, probably expecting a swap, but didn't, so the Leech Seed, of course, does a little more chip damage to this Rapidash. And the Focus from this Focus Punch, but the Baton Pass comes in, swaps into the Egg Slash, and it can't be hit by a Focus Punch. But of course, the Leech Seed does get past with this Baton Pass, so it's going to take more chip damage from it. Blade Form, Stance Change coming in to do the Iron Head to take down the substitute from this Breloom, but of course, Breloom puts it right back to sleep. With Leech Seed Recovery just doing a little bit more damage. This Egg Slash just napping on the field here with the substitute thing coming in from the Breloom. Leech Seed and Toxic Heal or Poison Heal recovery from this Breloom, bringing it almost back to full HP after this substitute. And of course the Focus Punch, because it probably doesn't have any more moves to do any damage, so it just has to kind of waste turns here until this Egg Slash wakes up. Leech Seed still just chipping down slowly. Egg Slash then wakes up, goes for the Iron Head, takes on the substitute again. But the prediction of the wake comes through, and the Spore is used to put the Egg Slash right back to sleep. And there goes the substitute again from this Breloom. Seen a lot of the same things from this. The Leech Seed, Poison Heal, bringing it back to almost full HP. Of course, Egg Slash staying in his sleep. This is really a really heavy song for just nothing going on in the battle. Leech Seed taking Egg Slash down to 2% HP. Egg Slash waking up though, taking down the substitute. Of course, it's going to be the last turn of this Egg Slash being alive. Egg Slash falling down to the Leech Seed with the Breloom still at full HP. Obstagoon then comes in, going for the rest at full HP. Unable to pull it off, he gets put to sleep by the Breloom. The Obstagoon then staying asleep, going for the Sleep Talk. Oh, but the Sleep Talk uses rest and he does not get a move with the Breloom going back for his substitute. Obstagoon is taking his nap. Sleep Talk though, going right back for the rest, unfortunately, with the Leech Seed coming in to get this Breloom back to full HP. Obstagoon gets the sitting target for this Focus Punch. Unless it wakes up now and does damage, it stays asleep. It goes for the Sleep Talk. But it goes for the rest again, and the Focus Punch, the quad effective move, takes down the Obstagoon. This Breloom standing quite strong. Toxtricity then swapping in to replace it. The Spore immediately putting this Toxtricity to sleep. The Leech Seed then coming back in to start doing chip damage to this Toxtricity. Again, Breloom just, it's not looking like anything can really do too much to this Breloom right now. The Focus Punch coming in, of course, Toxtricity staying asleep, so the Focus Punch does about half the damage, even though it is resisted. Another Focus Punch about to come through, but the Toxtricity wakes up, goes for the Discharge. Of course, resisted hit, but it does fade the substitute, but the Focus Punch comes through and takes down the Toxtricity. Frostlass then coming in to replace the fallen Toxtricity. And the Frostlass going for Will-O-Wisp, but it's failing because it's poisoned. So the Spore lands on the Frostlass. Frostlass staying asleep. And of course, substitute able to come back in from this Breloom, getting Poison Heal recovery. Leech Seed though missing this time, so not able to get any of the chip damage. Or the chip damage or the chip healing from it. But the Leech Seed then comes right back out. Frostlass though waking up and goes for the Psychic, takes down the substitute. Oh, but the Breloom predicts the wake and puts the Frostlass right back to sleep. Breloom going right back for the substitute, getting its... yeah. Leech Seed, Poison Recovery. Frostlass just staying napping. I'll say something about this after the battle. I'm actually gonna speed up the battle just a little bit. More Leech Seed chip damage from the Frostlass. Frostlass though wakes up, goes into the Psychic, takes down, but the Breloom is able to predict the Leech Seed, or predict this wake again and put it right back to sleep. Frostlass wakes up, breaks the substitute of the Breloom, and he goes right the heck back to sleep. And Frostlass eventually falls to the Leech Seed. Toxicroak then comes up, but the Sucker Punch failing because it's going for a what's it called? For a status move instead of an actual attacking move. The Focus Punch about to come in. Toxicroak just staying asleep. Focus Punch doing just about half of its damage, but he does get Leftovers Recovery, which of course gets taken down by the Leech Seed, and Toxicroak falls to the Focus Punch. The Endortha coming in, unfortunately, against the Spore, putting the Rapidash right to sleep. Focus Punch doing 20%, which is a pretty big hit considering it's quad resisted. Leech Seed, of course, coming in, doing some more chip damage. The Focus Punch charging up, taking out the Rapidash, leaving the Breloom as a sweeping Pokemon in 42 turns in this 6-0 battle. So, Sleep Clause is actually a thing in this league. However, it wasn't illegal. This Breloom never broke, or the Raichu Raiders never broke any of the rules. What the San Angus crew could have done with the first sleep that the Breloom got hit by, or when the first sleep that hit his Rapidash, he could have hard swapped and left the Rapidash to sleep. Then at that point, if the Breloom put any other Pokemon to sleep, then the Breloom would have been wrong, and there would have had to been, if it kept putting Pokemon to sleep after that, then we would have had to have a rebattle. But since he never swapped out with a Pokemon sleeping, the Raichu Raiders was completely legal. So I did bring up to this team leader that I explained it to him and told him that yes, if you get put to sleep, you can swap out, and if you get put to sleep again multiple times, then it's breaking the rules. One time, like an accidental sleep is fine. Ish. It's a very weird thing, but because like this format doesn't enforce Sleep Clause rules, so it will automatically put if you predict to wake up. But yeah, so this battle was completely legal. Unfortunately, just didn't think to swap out. Didn't really know like an effects board ability. Yeah, that too, or just like. If you use Spore, the Pokemon sleep for like 2 turns and you Spore again into a swapping out Pokemon, then that's kind of like if you're predicting the wake and then your opponent swaps out and like into a wake Pokemon that gets put to sleep. I don't know. Then it gets kind of weird. I don't really have a situation for that, like what to do about that. But if it keeps happening, if you put like the entire team to sleep, or like more than just one Pokemon, like if someone swaps then you put them to sleep, then that's breaking the Sleep Clause rule, and then there has to be a rebattle or some sort of punishment. But yeah, this battle just unfortunately the team leader just didn't really realize that's something they can do, unfortunately. So I did talk to them about that, and they do know for the future, and I hope everybody knows, because I don't want to see this happen again. Because like honestly, the Breloom is what implemented Sleep Clause last time around too. Because the Breloom, the team leader put like 4 Pokemon to sleep at once, and I was just like, aha, that's not okay. this is a boring battle. So, yeah, so the San Diego crew now knows that sleep closet is a thing, and I really hope that everybody else does too. But yeah, that was the results of the Week 1 battle between the San Diego crew and the Raichu Raiders.